Welcome to this episode of Salesforce for Nonprofit with KJ. In this episode, we're going to be looking at how to find, edit, and create list views. Let's get started. You will find list views on the majority of the tabs you have available to you. For example, contacts and accounts. They're a great way of being able to see pre-filtered data on a regular basis and be able to work with that data from within the list view. Let's take a look. To find a list view, navigate to the relevant tab, head down to Recently Viewed, then select the down arrow. This will give you access to any list views you have available to you. These are normally created by your administrator or super user. So if I wanted to see all of our supporters, I could simply select the list view. One handy tip is if there is a list view you regularly interact with, you can pin this as your favourite, and therefore not having to navigate away from your recently viewed list. This means anytime you navigate away from that tab and then navigate back, you will have that list view as the first one that is presented. If you'd like to see the filters applied to your list view, you can go to the Filters button, then see the applied filters. If you wanted to add more filters, you can simply go ahead and add filters from here, if you have access. Or if you wanted to change the list view, for example, add another column, you can go up to the cog and then select Fields to Display. Here you can reorder currently displayed fields, or you can find another field. You can also remove fields by using the back arrow. One thing to note about the fields available from within your list view is they're generally associated to the object that you're viewing. For example, contacts, you'll be viewing for the majority contact fields. However, with some of the fields where they are closely linked, you will see them pre-marked with account. So I have got access to some of the account fields from within this list view. To save my changes, I simply need to click Save. To create a whole new list view of items you want to see in the system, head to the cog, then click New. You'll need to give your list view a name. You may or may not see the API name. You shouldn't change this, just leave it as is. You then may have settings about who can view this list view. By default, it's normally only I can see this list view. You also have all users can see this list view. Do note, this may expose it to your communities. And then you also have the option to share this list view with a group of users. These are predefined groups as set up by your administrator. For now, I'm going to leave this as only I can see this list view. A default filter is normally applied, normally your contacts. As you can see, I have my contacts as my filter. To add another filter, I simply go to the Add Filter button. For example, if I wanted to create a list view with contacts who have donated over £1,000 and have an email address and perhaps are based in London, I can go ahead and apply these filters here. To do this, I need to find the relevant field. So if I'm looking for all donors who have donated over £1,000, I need to find the field that represents that in my system. In my case, this is total gifts. I then need to apply an operator. Think of this as how we're telling the system what to do with this data. So in this case, I want to equal or over £1,000, which is the value I've entered into here. You do not need to worry about capitalisation or inserting currency figures. These are done for you. Once I have clicked Done, you will see the filter applied in yellow. This means it's not applied to the list view yet. It must be saved for this to take effect. But I can add more filters before I do this. Because I'm interested in all contacts that have donated over £1,000, I can change the My Contacts filter to All Contacts. The next filter I'm going to apply is, has this donor got an email address? Again, I need to find the relevant field, the operator, and in this case, I'm going to use does not equal to. I'm going to leave the value as blank. This means the system is reading this as the email field does not equal to blank. As you can see, all the filters are now in yellow. So to apply these, I can simply go ahead and click Save. If I wanted to add my additional filter, for example, that their mailing city is Bristol or London, I can also do this now. Adding a new filter, filing the relevant field, in this case mailing city, and I'm going to change the operator to contains. I can then enter the values as needed, for example, Bristol, and then a comma, and then London. This will then check to see if either of these values are available in this field. Again, to retain the changes, I need to click Save. Now we have a list view showing contacts which have donated over £1,000 in total, who do have an email address, and their mailing city is either London or Bristol. If I wanted to see this information displayed within the table, I would need to go and change the columns available. Again, to do this, go up to the cog, Fields to Display, find those relevant fields, in my case, total gifts, mailing city and email. Once I click Save, those columns will be added to my list view. And there you have it, a list view of contacts who have donated over £1,000, have an email address and are either based in London or Bristol. You may have options to add these contacts to a campaign from your button bank here, or if the contacts are of the same record type, you can go ahead and do mass updates from this screen. Thanks for watching this episode of Salesforce for Nonprofits with KJ. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.